cafeteria buzzed with the usual lunchtime chaos. Trays clattered, voices echoed, and the smell of pizza slices lingered in the air. Seated near the back, 13-year-old Lila Monroe leaned in close to her best friend, Harper, her eyes glinting with a mischievous spark. The two sat side by side, their heads bowed together as Lila revealed her secret. Lila was tired of being invisible, the quiet girl with hand-me-down clothes and a lunchbox that smelled faintly of tuna. But today, she would change that. With a slight shake in her hands and a fire in her chest, she spun her lie like a golden thread. Johnny Depp, the movie star, was her father, a family secret she claimed, hidden from the world to protect her. Harper's widened eyes didn't question her, she simply stared, then nodded slowly. In that moment, Lila felt seen, really seen, for the first time in months. By the next day, the secret had mutated into gossip and bloomed into legend. In the hallway between classes, students stared longer. Some whispered, some laughed, a few even asked for autographs. Her autograph. Lila walked with her shoulders straighter, her eyes forward, her nerves coiled in a dangerous mix of guilt and pride. Beside her, Harper stayed silent. She watched the others with a wary expression, her loyalty torn between truth and friendship. Lila didn't notice. She was too caught in the wave of attention, too intoxicated by the weightless feeling of popularity. But beneath her hoodie sleeve, her hand trembled. In English class, Mr. Langford raised an eyebrow as he handed Lila a book. He'd overheard whispers, just like everyone else, but unlike the students, he watched Lila closely. When he asked her to stay after class, the room emptied quickly, leaving the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead. He spoke kindly, his tone measured, his eyes soft but piercing. He asked about her home life, subtly nudging her toward the truth without accusation. Lila's jaw tightened. She avoided his gaze, tracing invisible circles on her desk with a chewed pencil. She left the classroom 10 minutes later, her heartbeat drumming in her ears. The first seed of fear had been planted. By Friday, the rumor had become a circus. Kids at school had started placing bets on whether Johnny Depp would show up at parent-teacher night. Some of them, convinced of her story, even started filming her on their phones in hopes of catching celebrity moments. One boy uploaded a TikTok titled "Hollywood Daughter Spotted in Math Class." Lila's world swirled faster than she could control. The lie had grown legs, and now it was running ahead of her. That night, Harper showed up at her doorstep. She didn't say anything, but the hurt in her eyes said everything. She handed Lila a friendship bracelet she had made weeks ago, then walked away before Lila could muster the courage to stop her. At home, Lila's mom, Melanie, noticed the shift. Her daughter, once quiet and reserved, now spent hours in front of the mirror rehearsing imaginary interviews. Melanie had always encouraged Lila to dream, but something about this new sparkle in her eye didn't feel like confidence, it felt like desperation. Melanie found the TikTok videos late at night, her fingers frozen on the screen. Her chest ached. She didn't confront Lila, not yet. But the pain of watching her daughter create a fantasy to mask reality kept her up long after the house fell silent. On Monday morning, an official-looking envelope landed in the school office. The secretary glanced at the gold-stamped seal and squinted. Inside was a neatly typed note confirming an unexpected but approved school visit, signed JD. The secretary didn't connect the dots until hours later when the black SUV pulled into the staff parking lot. Two men in suits stepped out, followed by a figure in sunglasses and a wide-brimmed hat. Whispers spread like wildfire. In the girls' bathroom between classes, Lila splashed water on her face. Her reflection looked back, pale and panicked. She wasn't sure how much longer she could carry the weight of her story. Her stomach churned as she thought of Harper, the only person who truly mattered. Just then, the door creaked open. Harper stepped inside, her expression unreadable. She leaned against the sink next to Lila, arms crossed, jaw clenched. Lila opened her mouth to explain, to confess, but Harper simply pulled out her phone and handed it to her. The screen showed the school's main hallway, and on it, Johnny Depp, unmistakable and real, was walking toward the principal's office. Time slowed as Lila stepped into the hallway. The crowd parted, every eye locked onto her. At the far end, Johnny Depp stood surrounded by curious faculty and wide-eyed students. He looked tired but amused, like a man used to strange situations. Then, he saw her. He gave a small nod and smiled, just enough to seem warm but distant. Lila's breath caught, her legs threatened to give out. She had never met him before in her life, and yet here he was, the lie made flesh. But there was no yelling, no angry accusations, only a brief, quiet conversation behind closed doors where Johnny told the truth. He'd heard about the story from his publicist, and when he learned it came from a lonely girl in a small town, he decided to visit, not to shame, but to understand. The next day, the story had already gone viral. News outlets picked it up, headlines twisting the truth into clickbait fodder. Some students mocked Lila, others admired her for somehow pulling it off. But the attention quickly faded, as it always does. What remained was the silence between Lila and Harper. But one day after school, Harper showed up again, no bracelet this time, just a sketchbook. She sat beside Lila on the swings behind the gym and opened it. Inside was a drawing of two girls laughing, their feet kicked high in the air. Lila didn't say anything. She didn't need to. She reached for Harper's hand and held on tightly. Weeks passed. The media storm blew over. Lila apologized to her teachers, her classmates, her mum. Most forgave her, some didn't. But she kept her head high, learning to live with the consequences of her choices. She joined the school's theatre club, finding joy in telling stories that everyone knew were fiction. She didn't need to pretend anymore. And slowly, her friendship with Harper grew stronger than ever, built not on fantasy, but on truth. And as for Johnny Depp, he sent one last letter. No signature, just a note. We all want to be seen. Don't forget that your real story matters more than anything you could make up. Keep being brave. Lila taped it to her wall, right above her mirror, and every morning she looked at it before facing the world.